Mike the King of Pop's first stage. Michael Jackson story. Musical notes. Narration begins softly with background music. Musical notes. When we think of Michael Jackson, the name instantly brings flashes of moonwalks, glittering jackets, a white glove sparkling under the spotlight, and music that changed the world forever. But before he became the King of Pop, before the world screamed his name in packed stadiums, before Thriller broke records, there was just a little boy from Gary, Indiana, with a dream. A boy who would take his first step onto the stage, and never look back. Glowing star. The beginning, a humble childhood. Michael Joseph Jackson was born on August 29, 1958, in Gary, Indiana. His family lived in a small house on Jackson Street, just 2 bedrooms for a family of 11. Money was tight, the neighborhood was rough, and the future seemed uncertain. But inside that little house, music lived. Michael's father, Joseph Jackson, worked long hours at a steel mill, but in the evenings, he picked up his guitar and rehearsed with his band, the Falcons. Michael and his brothers would watch him play, fascinated. Their mother, Catherine, nurtured their talents, teaching them to sing gospel songs and harmonies. It was in this simple environment, surrounded by rhythm, discipline, and dreams, that Michael's destiny began to form. Musical notes. A gift uncovered. Michael was the 8th of 10 children. His older brothers, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, started practicing together as a group. At first, Michael was too young, just the little brother running around the house. But something magical happened. One evening, while his brothers were rehearsing, Joseph heard a small voice joining in from the background. He stopped and listened. To his surprise, it was Michael, only 5 years old, singing with more passion and control than boys twice his age. Joseph realized he had found something rare, a child prodigy. Soon, Michael wasn't just in the background, he was standing in the center. His father began pushing him forward, training him, shaping him, and demanding perfection. Mike the first stage. Michael's very first real stage came at a local talent show in Gary. He was only 6 years old. The Jackson brothers were nervous, their instruments set up, the crowd waiting. But Michael, tiny and shy-looking, walked out with a microphone in his hand. No one in the audience expected much from the little boy. Then the music started. Michael began to sing, "Climb Every Mountain," from the sound of music. His voice soared, powerful, emotional, filled with soul far beyond his years. The crowd went silent, stunned. And then, when he hit the final note, the audience exploded with applause. They had just witnessed something special. That night, Michael felt it for the first time, the magic of the stage, the connection with people, the power of music. He knew, deep inside, that this was his home. Rocket. The rise of the Jackson 5. After that first stage, things moved quickly. The Jackson brothers formed the Jackson 5, with Michael as the lead singer, even though he was the youngest. They started performing in local clubs, talent contests, and school functions. Wherever they went, Michael's voice, his energy, and his dance moves left audiences speechless. Michael was small, but he had a presence so big it filled every room. His stage became his kingdom. In 1968, the Jackson 5 auditioned for Motown Records in Detroit. Michael, just 10 years old, sang with a confidence that amazed Motown founder Berry Gordy. That audition was the turning point, the gateway from Gary to global stardom. Globe. The world witnesses Michael. By 1969, the Jackson 5 released their first single, "I Want You Back." It shot straight to #1 on the Billboard charts. Michael was now not just a boy singing. On small stages in Indiana, he was standing on some of the biggest stages in the world. But no matter how big the crowds grew, he never forgot that first little stage in Gary, Indiana, where it all began. Sparkles. The lesson, the first step matters. Michael Jackson's story teaches us something powerful. Every legend, every superstar, every person who changes the world, starts somewhere small. For Michael, it was a tiny talent show in his hometown. For you, it might be your first job, your first song, your first attempt at a dream. What matters is not how big the stage is, but the courage to step onto it. Michael once said, "To live is to be musical, starting with the blood dancing in your veins. Everything living has a rhythm. Do you feel your music? Musical notes closing. That first stage in Gary, Indiana, gave birth to a boy who would later become the king of pop. From that moment on, the world would never be the same. So remember, whatever your dream is, don't wait for the perfect stage. Step onto the one you have. Because like Michael Jackson, your first step could be the beginning of a legacy that inspires millions. Mike music fades out. Mike.